Speaking of what they're doing, since the last time we spoke, there was a GM. There was a big change in Cleveland with the general manager. Um, the big knock is what they did with their draft picks, and obviously Bennett has shown some improvement lately, but for a first pick overall, it's not been a very good year. There was people have debated back and forth when they picked Dion Waiters out of Syracuse as their number 4 a couple of years ago. And there was thinking with all the draft picks they collected, they could maybe rebuild themselves pretty quickly, or with Irving at the base. But anyway, what's your take on Cleveland?
Cleveland right now is dysfunctional. There's a lot of talk right now about what's going on. There's some cliques that I'm hearing about, like a clique between Kyrie Irving and Tristan Thompson, and not really getting along with Dion Waiters, and then having to have players-only meetings, and near coming to blows as well. They're just dysfunctional right now, and I don't think their coach is doing a good job of galvanizing the players. Now, the funny thing is they've won 2 games since Chris Grant was fired. Now, you just wondered, Waiters is coming out now saying he's partially to blame for Chris Grant losing his job. Quote, if we played the way we have the last 2 games, he'd probably still be here. But they were an absolute atrocious team, Norm. I watched them in a couple games before these 2 wins, and they were clueless. Now, we can look at the draft picks. Kyrie Irving has not played up to his number 1 stature. He's an all-star when he shouldn't really be this season. Hasn't led the team, hasn't gotten guys involved in the offense the way he should. As for the other picks, I think Tristan Thompson has been improving steadily. I think he's a guy that you're going to be depended on to get a 12, 15 points and 10 rebounds. He's not going to be a superstar, no doubt, but he's a hard worker, has a high motor and energy, and, with a guy like that, he can work to maybe be an all-star one day. Anthony Bennett, I have a close affiliation, of course, covering all the top Canadians. You got to give him time. He's had a rough go of it. When you think of the shoulder surgery, coming in basically at the end of training camp, not having a good start. But I think for Bennett, Norm, it's a mental thing. And he's gotten over now the mental aspect of the game. It's moving at 2, 3, 4 times what it should for him to comprehend out there. But as you see in the last couple games, he's starting to get there, starting to lose some weight. And I'll tell you, there were some reports this week talking about Anthony Bennett saying his skills are there. He's got a shooting touch for a guy his size that you cannot teach. He's got the physicality. He will be fine. I think Anthony Bennett's going to recover, and by next season, the season after, he's going to be a solid player in the NBA.